Live? Yes. Hi everyone, Robert here, and welcome to the GFW Impact Review from August 31st, 2017. And this time around, since I have been on military duty for the last 3 weeks, I was like tired. I am kind of burnt out. I decided to, give a call to one of the GFW diehard and bring it here. So I was able to find one of the hardest and most diehard fans of GFW Impact, and his name is Elisamuel Rosario. Go ahead, Elisamuel, and present yourself to the audience. You have the floor.
Can
Uh,
you hear me?
yeah. Can we can
Oh
hear you?
well. First of all, thank you, Rob, for having me here in GFW Slam preview.
Yeah,
Is the preview right? The review, right?
the
My
review.
mistake. Review. The review. Yeah. I'm happy to be here. And hey, let's talk about the hot topic about GFW.
Man, I am happy to have you here on helping me review the show. So before we start, let's talk about a little bit about GFW remaining on Pop TV. I am like 50-50 to be honest in this whole thing because I don't have Pop TV because I have the cable provider that I have doesn't have Pop TV, and most of the time I watch Impact via Fight Network or watch it on some nefarious live stream. But on the other side of town, I am happy that they're having something to build upon, so they are not now thinking about missing a deal on TV and not being around on TV. And obviously, they were gonna lose their TV spot by February, and usually TV stations don't add up new programming until the fall. So, you know, I am 50-50 on this whole thing, but you know, things can improve and have been improving ever since Atom Sport took the wheel. So, I'm 50-50, but I am not giving up upon Impact. That will make me quit the promotion because, it is just a TV deal. Do I have to take a unnecessary step into hunting the show? It is not the optimal thing that I would love to have. But now we will have like the GFW network, and probably all the episodes are gonna be available, at my fingertips via smartphone. So it is 50-50, but I am not, uh, black pill or depressed about that. Give us your thought, Ellie, somewhere on GFW remaining on Pop TV.
I think it's a good idea for now to them being on Pop TV because right now, like KB of King of the Mountain podcast said, at least they have a TV deal secured. I know we all want GFW on a bigger network, but I think it's not the right time. I think that they have to improve more their product, have bigger names on the company so they could get a bigger TV deal. I think that even though we don't know the details about the contract, I don't know if they're gonna let the dirt sheet or those websites have the details about the contract. But I think there's something else on this contract, something valuable on this contract that made them sign the deal. I think Top TV wants to be for GFW what is USA for WWE. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the home.
Yeah, they want to be that established home. And I think, hey, Top TV has promoted Impact Wrestling better than Destination America 2 years ago. You
Des-
know,
yeah,
they
Destination
have been
American was
they,
terrible. Go ahead.
they have they have been promoting it on social media, on TV, and that's good because they really want people. They really want viewers. You know what I mean? I know Pop TV is not a big network, but hey, we just have to have faith in GFW that they're gonna take the table around and they're gonna make everything work. And hey, I'm excited about the GFW Global Network. Hey, I'm excited. I don't know about you, but I want to subscribe already. And that's I don't know if it's gonna be an app or a site. I think that that network is gonna put more viewers on the company.
Yeah,
And like we were talking earlier,
yeah,
the company has improved in quality, production, in ring talent, international talent. Hey, they have every they have all that it takes to be number one in the U.S. And for me, they're already number one. Don't get me wrong, because everything that happens in GFW is so exciting that when the shows off air, you want more and more and more. But for me, it's a good thing that they have that Pop TV deal. Let's see what happens. Let's see where GFW goes from here.
yeah. I want to see what they're able to accomplish. They have improved by leaps and bounds, and we're now have a homegrown talent as the GFW Global Champion. So let's start reviewing the show. So the show open up with GFW Global Champion Eli Drake with Chris Adonis arriving to the arena dressed for success. And after that, we are able to see some type of controversial type of rough off scene between Jeff Jarrett and Dan Lambert from American Top 10. After that, Eli Drake and Chris Adonis went to the ring for their championship celebration. Eli Drake remind everyone that he was at the top, and he gave a couple of shots at Jim Cornette because you know Jim Cornette put him in a bad spot last week, and he was able to overcome that adversity. Johnny Impact interrupted the promo, saying that he is sick of Eli Drake and he wants a title shot. Eddie Edwards also interrupted and said that he wanted a title shot. Jim Cornette went ahead and make a tag team match. Johnny Impact and Eddie Edwards versus Eli Drake and Chris Adonis. If Johnny Impact or Eddie Edwards were able to pin Eli Drake or Adonis, they will receive a number one contender shot. What do you thought about that stuff?
Well, that match for me was top notch. That was tag team wrestling 101. You feel me, right?
Yeah,
The chemistry inside the ring, seeing Johnny Impact wrestle for the second time in the GFW ring, the way that he's adapting to the six-sided ring is incredible. A lot of wrestlers when they go to the six-sided ring, they have like a little bit of a problem in the ring. And hey, I was impressed about the tag team match. For me, it was a five-star main event tag team match. And and watching Eli Drake winning with the low blow on Eddie Edwards, that was awesome. He's a true heel.
yeah,
And what
yeah. Go ahead.
and what and watching American top team cutting that promo on GFW. Hey, This field between American Top Team and GFW for me is gold. The
Y-
world of MMA versus the world of pro wrestling. Hey, they could make something huge out of it, down to glory.
yes.
They could make a huge match. They could get more viewers. They could get more pay per view buys in the paper by having a match of MMA stars and GFW stars. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And there, there's a kind of debate going on between people who don't like that uh, angle and people who like it. I am in the side that like it. Why? Because there is a crossover, between MMA guys and MMA fans and GFW fans. Go ahead and ask someone like Raven Effect. Raven Effects is a fan of MMA. Karma, your TNA guy. He's also a big fan of MMA. There, and I could continue to go on and on and on of people who like that stuff. On the other side, there are people who are only wrestling fans, but those numbers are you know getting smaller due to bad wrestling by the main company, and there are people running away from professional wrestling. And one of the things it is that there's no getting around that. There's a lot of people who have quit wrestling. you know just today I was on a retro store not that far ago, and I was looking for a N64 cartridge to play, No Mercy. Guess what? Someone who working on the store, he told me, "Hey, we ran out of that cartridge. We don't have that game anymore because at that time wrestling was, fun, and I was not wearing like a wrestling T-shirt or anything like that. So people on the mainstream during that time were watching wrestling. They quit, and that is had happened due to WWE and their bad decisions. However, GFW is different, and to be honest, there is no salvation towards some of those fans. They quit wrestling. However, there are MMA fans who like the craziness of professional wrestling because MMA is too serious, and sometimes you need a little bit more comedy. You need, cheating and that type of stuff. So you can throw that hook out there, and you know, I think the big goal of GFW is to return back home to Spike TV, but I think it is not the time. On if they want to get a good deal, they need to have at least 500,000 viewers per week, and that should be the goal between here until the end of 2018. So they have a year and 4 months, something like that, to reach that deal. But that is very doable. I am, you know, not the biggest fan into bringing celebrities into wrestling, but MMA guys is another deal because the people they are putting in are professional wrestling fans, which that is the most important thing. And number two, they are athletes. They know how the basic stuff within wrestling. And now that GFW have someone like Scott Damore, who is an excellent trainer, you saw how how was able to do with the football guy at Slammiversary. He was able to
So
mold him. Yeah, that was
yeah,
very impressive.
the
Go ahead.
D'Angelo Williams,
Yeah,
he was so impressive. I
yeah,
was like, I was like, damn, that guy has some skills.
yeah, and they trained him for like 3 days or something like that. What, how, and what will Scott Damore will be able to build out of a MMA guy? That would be the big question. But I am sure, I can assure you that he will be able to build something very good out of out of that stuff and that with that recipe. Next, let's talk about the backstage segment between Ali and Taryn Terrell. I think this was a very good exchange between them. Ali returning back to what made her very successful in GFW, which is the charming, cute little girl gimmick, and you have Taryn Terrell, who looks all crazy. She's a very good-looking woman, but she have that spike and that
For me,
crazy, yeah, those crazy eyes. That segment was really good. What are your thoughts about that?
I see Taryn Terrell like a psycho.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love her character. If you see her, she's still playing like the dollhouse character, the
yeah,
gimmick,
yeah,
and that's what I like about her. That gimmick fits her so well. And then you have this innocent Ali, yeah, because she looks so innocent in the way that she attacked her in that segment. Uh, I want to see where this goes
yeah. This is
because
wrestling. Yeah, go ahead.
Ali is so talented. We all know her that her name is Cherry Bomb in the Indies. We know what she's capable of inside the ring. So I think it's about time already that they let Ali show her true potential inside the ring. I think it's about time.
Yeah, it is about time. I like the chemistry because this is a babyface versus heels 1-on-1. You got the crazy heel taking advantage of somebody else's innocence. This is quite good and good chemistry between them. So we will see more of them hopefully in the future. Next we have,
Uh,
oh yeah, go ahead.
um, and they announced then Karen Jarrett announced tag team match between Sienna, Karen Terrell versus Ali and Gail Kim.
That
I
that's a
have high I have high expectations for that tag team match next week on Impact.
Yeah, that is a good pairing right there. So you have two different feud mixing, in the ring. So that keep all the things fresh, and you don't see people wrestling against the same guy over and over and over again, like in some other, universe or something like that. Next, we got. Oh, go ahead.
And we cannot forget that Taya debuts next week.
Yeah,
Let's see what happens. The GSW knockoff division is on fire right now. They just need them to give her more TV time.
yeah,
They need more TV. They need more TV time. If they could give them more TV time, it's gonna be the Chaos division is gonna be pure gold.
yeah. I was researching for a video that I'm gonna be dropping in October, by I think by the middle of October. So I researched the top 10 matches of the knockouts division, and there's a lot of great matches. People are gonna be quite impressed with that video. And Gail Kim, she have like half of those matches, but she's leaving. But I think Ali could fill those shoes quite nicely, and seeing her now giving being given more of a spotlight is really good. Next, we got OBE, Jake and Dave Christ versus Falaba and Mario Bocara. This was basically uh
Wow.
yeah, how can you put it, a
Oh,
showcase match. I am a huge fan of Mario Bocara, but I think it is not the time right now for for a push. But I think that guy is quite talented, and he comes across, especially on the microphone. If you listen to him, he comes across as this type of guy who's a hard worker, a clean cut baby face, and he could get over, but not at this time. I also love seeing LAX now watching the match from the outside, putting their eyes on the top tag team, which is OBE. So I think that is a good pairing between OBE and LIS. What do you think about all of this?
Hey man, you said it all. Um, if they make an OVE versus LAX field, and that's what they're hinting right now, that's what we saw this past Thursday. OVE was in a tag match versus Mario Bocara and Falaba, and they were watching on their TV screen. I think OVE has what it takes to get those tag team titles. Man, that tag team is so special. I've been a huge fan since they were in the Indies. They have they have what it takes to lead the tag team division in GFW. You know, and like you said, I am a huge fan of Falaba too. And I was noticing something this past Thursday. He has a fan base. The crowd really loves him too. But I think my personal opinion, Falaba could be GFW's Big Show.
Yeah,
He could be.
yeah. Go
He's
ahead.
not a he's not a giant, but he could do great by his own, like a singles competitor.
Yeah, he could be even if we go a little bit more, old school, something like Yokozuna. He could feel,
Yeah,
yeah, that mold later down. I think he's I don't know what he's missing, to be honest. The same as with Mario Bocara. Mario Bocara is like a MMA fighter. He's a wrestler. He does a lot of stuff. But all those two guys are missing something. I haven't figured out what they are missing, but probably he's gonna get better with time. I think it is smart to have them sign to the GFW roster, and one those crop are able to be on time. GFW is gonna have advantage of having them, and make sure that they have them locked toward with a contract, because they are gonna get big. They're gonna get help a lot with different demographics, because Mario Bocara is from the Balkans. He's from Croatia. When was the last time you hear about a professional wrestler from Croatia? Like never. So that is a place that they could span upon, and claim new grounds, because nobody have even pay attention to anything that has to do with the Balkans, due to the wars and all that stuff that had happened over the years over there. But next, let's talk about Jim Cornette. He had a segment with Moose, and he also put talk about their his future match with EC3. So they are gonna be doing different stuff. Jim Cornette also told that Lashley was gonna be at Triple Mania, something that happened, and we could talk about a little bit about Triple Mania. EC3 went to the office, said that Triple A is not the big show of the year, but because of that, Jim Cornette ended up punishing him by saying that he will have to defend the grand title against Fantasma. I think that is gonna be happening next week, if I'm not mistaken. What are your thoughts about that segment?
well, personally, I'm really excited for that match. You got a top AA triple A, you got a top triple A star versus a top GFW star, and he's the current Impact Grand Champion. For me, that's gonna be a good fight. Um, Hijo de Fantasma is crazy talented in the ring. He has it all. So hey, maybe you don't know. Maybe he beats EC3 for that title and take it to Mexico.
Yeah.
Or maybe we see like no Italians interfere in the match. We never know what's gonna happen. Like GFW is so unpredictable. Anything can happen at any night. And my opinion about Moose and Lashley in Triple Mania, um, this is a good way to keep on setting their field. I think they're gonna fail in the near future. By the way, Moose eliminated Lashley in the Gauntlet for Gold. I think they're heading for Moose versus Lashley match at Bound for Glory.
Yeah, that's a good pairing right there. Between Moose and Lashley, they had wrestled each other, but it had been like on a one night only, not on TV. So they are keeping that feud like you know hidden. They are keeping it fresh. So I think that is a big time money feud. That is probably one of the biggest, let's say dream matches in GFW, with the number one, at least in my point of view, being Eli Drake as a champion versus the Cowboy Team Storm. Because you could see, the fan base, you see the TNA originals versus the new crop of GFW, talent. That would be like basically like The Rock versus a Stone Cold, but the GFW
Well,
version of that could be huge. But I think they're
that's a
also,
good,
yeah,
and that's a, and sorry to interrupt you, that's a good comparison. James Storm is from the old school TNA, GFW, and Eli Drake is the modern of GFW. You know what I mean? It's money making. It's a money making matchup. You know what I mean?
yeah, that
It could pull more buys on the pay per view.
yeah, that's a good pairing, and I hope they have that match, written in, like a paper for, for a special place in time we're gonna put in and make a big deal out of Eli Drake versus the Cowboy James Storm. But speaking about TNA originals, the Canadian Destroyer Petey Williams versus Conley with Trevor Lee on his corner. This is the first match of Petey Williams in like 8 years. If you're, a long time fan, you remember when he was given the slip that he was fired and he was crying and all that stuff that happened. I think 2009, something like that. And after that, he had been seen a couple of times in Impact, but just like in three-way matches and stuff like that. So this is the his first match back. He was able to hit all his cool spots, Huracaranas, the Huracarana to the outside. Then obviously at the end he was able to win due to using the Canadian Destroyer on Conley. So after the match, Trevor Lee, he was pissed off and he ended up attacking Petey Williams from behind. But then the X Division champion came in, uh, Sanjay Dutt, and he was able to make the save, causing Trevor Lee and Conley to leave the ring. Thoughts about all of this, and especially on Petey Williams?
Well, right now I'm so excited to have him back in GFW. Like you said, Peter Williams is a TNA original. He was captain of Team Canada. Um, yo, that guy is crazy talented, and he's the original Canadian Destroyer. So people don't get it twisted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's the original wrestler that created the Canadian Destroyer. Well, what can I say? The X division right now is on fire. Um, Seeing Peter Williams return is good for the company, especially when they are how can I say it? they are. My bad, man. I can't find the word.
Say it on
Let's just
Spanish.
say
Yeah, go
they
ahead.
they they are constructing the company like back together. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, rebuilding.
And having some of TNA originals coming back, that's good because they could put the older talent with the young talent and make them flourish. Hey, Caleb Conley does a great heel work. He's great being a heel. And right now, I would love him. I would love GFW to keep on pushing him as a heel and give him more TV time as his original persona than Suicide. Because we all know Suicide is being played by Caleb Conley.
Yeah.
I want him to be Caleb Conley. I don't want him to be Suicide. And having Trevor Lee by his side, man, that's awesome. Trevor Lee is a great heel.
Yeah.
And I think the
Yeah, go
in
ahead.
the X division right now is on fire. Everything about GFW right now is on fire right now.
Yeah, yeah. They were able to rebuild the X division
Yeah,
because
that's the word rebuild.
yeah, that they were able to rebuild the X division, and that is a good thing. That is what got a lot of people, myself included, into the company in the first place. So now we're having a good feud, between four good wrestlers. Those guys being Sonjay Dutt, Petey Williams, Trevor Lee, and Colin Conley. Next, we got the
Next week
backstage. Yeah, go
we
ahead.
have we have a tag team match next week between the four of them.
Yeah,
So it's gonna be exciting having Trevor Lee and Caleb Conley versus Peter Williams and
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 Sonjay Dutt.
Sanjay Dutt.
Yeah,
They are two GFW originals versus new versus two new young blood talents. Let's see what happens.
yeah. That is a good pairing. Next, we got the standby wrestler, Richard Justice versus Congo Kong. Obviously, this is a squash match. Congo Kong was able to win with his huge top rope splash. After the match, Congo Kong decided to attack Justice, and Mahabali Shera was able to make the save. And Mahabali Shera was able to throw Congo Kong over the ropes, and he ended up standing tall and being, the last man standing on the ring. What are your thoughts about that segment?
Well, I really liked it because I think it's about time that they take Mahabali Shera serious in GFW, and he has improved a lot.
Yeah,
He has he has improved inside the ring a lot, and
yeah,
I'm glad because man, he has potential, and this is a great way to push him having a feud with Congo Kong. You know, there are two big, there are two hungry talents, and you have a monster versus a giant. Hey, for me, Mahabali Shera is a giant, so he has everything that it takes to beat Congo Kong. If they book him right, everything's gonna come out well. And I really love this segment. Having Mahabali Shera, the last man standing, that was great. Let's see what happens because I really like the guy.
I like that they changed direction because it looked like they were gonna book Congo Kong versus Tyrus, but I think I'm sorry to say it, but Mahabali Shera is at least a TNA homegrown talent, not like Tyrus. Tyrus, he's quite talented as a news guy, news reporter, but he will always have that that's that mark of being a ex WWE talent. And when you're trying to rebuild something uh from from basically from the scratch. You don't want to have, unnecessary branding from the other side of town. It is, smart at all. I think they could pull something cool with this if they keep it like under 5 minutes. Let's say they book that like Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. Let's say less than 5 minutes, and they do all the power move, one after the other. I think they could do a cool little match, especially for TV, that could open people's eye, because Congo Kong, he doesn't have like a great physique or anything like that. But don't get it twisted. The man can wrestle, and the man is talented. But that will always hold him down. And obviously, Congo Kong is also old. He's like 40 something, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, they could do a little, feud between Mahabali Shera and Congo Kong, 1 or 2 matches. As long as you keep it short and you keep everything jam packed, it could be a good match, and probably better than anything that, Tyrus can do. Next, we got Mackenzie Mitchells. He interviewed Johnny Impact, and he did like a sell job, saying that he was gonna win the GFW Global title. Then we got LAX in the club house, and they tell Loki that he have a proof of point match against the Cowboy James Storm, and he have to send Cowboy James Storm to the hospital. So another match that we got, the two TNA originals. So that's something that I quite enjoy seeing. Loki with LAX versus the returning Cowboy James Storm. A good match. I saw a lot of motivation out of Loki into wrestling James Storm. James Storm, obviously, he's one of the most beloved talent in GFW. We saw the exchange between the Warriors Way and the Eye of the Storm. And at the end, Conan was able to distract the referee, allowing Santana to hit James Storm with the title belt. And then Loki took advantage of that and hit the Warriors Way for the win. And that was it. Thoughts on that?
Well, I was excited for that match too. Hey, you have two GFW originals. You got Low Key in the Cowboys and Storm. Hey, I was disappointed when I heard that Low Key was leaving the company, because in that match versus James Storm, even though there was a lot of interference by LAX, Low Key demonstrated that he was a heavyweight contender. I don't know why creative wanted him back for the X Division title shot, but for me, Low Key has what it takes to be GFW World Champion,
Yeah,
and he proved it in that match against James Storm.
yeah, that
I
is.
mean,
Yeah, go ahead.
that that match was incredible. You know, the bosses, the way they the fight feel of the match, it was incredible. The offensive and Low Key is very talented. The Warriors Way by Low Key from the top rope, that was priceless. He's incredible.
Man, and he's a very good talent. I think if I was a betting man, I think I won't uh let's say bet against Loki fully leaving GFW. I think if the creative is able to come in with something fresh, a new opportunity, I think he might stay. I think they have a plan for him, but they haven't told him, probably because usually GFW grant the release. If you don't want to be there, they grant you the release, and that's it. Go ahead and go leave the company and have fun. Look for work, something somewhere else. But them holding that release tells me that there is a side of the story that we haven't heard, and that is the problem that happened with dirt sheets. Sometimes I cover the news on this YouTube channel, but sometimes I got to hold myself out of covering the news, because there is a lot of falsehood, a lot of gossip, or outright lies, propaganda, and stuff like that, and I don't want to spread that and give that credibility by talking about that. So I think there is more to that story that meets the eyes, and they are probably gonna give him something. They're gonna give him something. If I was working there, I would probably have Loki being one of the agents putting all the matches of the exhibition together, and probably give him a pay raise because of that, and so he could be a talent and also work a little bit backstage, so he is able to be more invested. And obviously Loki is in excellent condition, but he's 40, and you don't want him to have a bad injury or anything like that. uh,
Yeah,
Go ahead.
and it's like you said, this is side of a story that we don't know. Maybe they're still negotiating. Maybe he's staying with the company, and we don't know. I hope he stays. He's very talented. He's in a great shape, and he has all that it takes to be a world champion in GFW. So I hope creative team change their minds and management, and hey, give him the opportunity to shine through the heavyweights. He did it. He did it in the match with James Storm. He could do it again. And I was so when they announced that Loki was gonna fight Alberto Padron for the GFW World Title at Destination X, hey, I was excited because I wanted Loki to win that title. So hey, we don't know. I just hope he stays with GFW and creative. Let him be in the world title picture. He deserves it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I agree fully with that statement. Next, I wanna point towards something that happened, and I was very, very, very happy about that. So we got a backstage segment with uh, Humberto Garza, better known as Garza Jr. He's trying to hit on Ali after her being attacked from Tyrion Terrell. He was trying to comfort her, and Braxton Sutter came in. He got pissed off and warned Garza Jr. to walk away. This little segment, man, Garza Jr. one, I think, the most underutilized pro wrestler that could do a lot of crossover stuff. Let me give you a backstory. Garza Jr., obviously, we know that he was the nephew of Erto Garza, who was he wrestled for WCW, and he also wrestled for TNA. He's a wrestler from Mexico, obviously. He is wrestling now on Crash. But before he started doing that, he was a TV star. He was like a, let's say, a fitness model. If you watch like Mexican TV, he sometimes appear and do like a workout session and stuff. And he's obviously a good looking man. Let's not lie about that. And I think they have something special with him, and now portraying him as something more, letting him build his character, especially with a cutie like Allen. It is perfect, and he's a good match for Braxton Sutter. They are basically almost the similar size. They got a similar build up. So I think they have a good mid card feud between Braxton Sutter and Garza Jr. And Garza, I think he's over in the impact zone. And I think
Yeah,
he could, yeah, and he could translate into a bigger audience by, this mid card feud. You can, go ahead and push him a little bit up the card. I think that segment was really, really, really good. What are your thoughts about this little segment?
uh, I'm gonna be honest with you right now. I
Yeah,
agree with everything you said. When I see Garza Jr., I see his uncle Hector Garza.
yeah,
He's he's so crazy talented. Garza Jr. has what it takes to be in the GFW world title picture. Hey, I'm gonna say it, and not everybody's gonna agree with me, but Garza Jr. he could be a top talent in GFW. He has a big popularity. His in ring skills are crazy. Hey, if I was GFW, I would split up Laredo Kid and Garcia Jr. to a singles competitor. I would leave Laredo Kid to the X division and I let Garcia Jr. be on the heavyweight division because he has proved that he deserves to be in that spot. And hey, I'm excited to see Braxton Sutter like a heel.
yeah,
He could
yeah,
be he could be a true heel. And a failed between those two, between Garson Jr. and Braxton Sutter, that's gonna be gold.
yeah. Garza Jr. was able to, basically got himself over uh, in the impact zone without even, touching a microphone. He have not cut a promo out there. The only thing that people have seen out of him are his wrestling talent and, his pan spot and, his mannerism, the way he moved in the ring and all that kind of stuff. If he was able to just got himself over with that limited amount of opportunity, now I will be surprised in that feud, because now you have Braxton Sutter working as the bad guy, working as a heel, and you got Garza Jr. probably having a little bit of mic time, which that is good, something new, something fresh. That is one thing that I have to say about GFW. They
Yeah,
always
yeah,
keep things fresh. They, mix things up, something we haven't seen ever. So we're now seeing that on GFW. Go ahead.
you know what? I would love to see a plot twist on the storyline between Garza Jr., Ali, and Braxton Sutter. Imagine if they have a singles match and Ali turns her back on Garza Jr. and becomes a heel with Braxton Sutter. That would be huge
Yeah,
because it would be something that the fans wasn't expecting. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That that was GFW. If GFW does that the correct way, hey, the fans gonna love it. I'm gonna love it. I know you will love it. Hey, I would love to see Ali be a heel.
yeah. For a while, she have not been a heel, so that is something, a new angle that they are doing. Something, GFW is quite good at doing and have been quite good in quite a lot. They don't repeat matches. They're
And
yeah. Go ahead.
the funniest part is when Garcia Jr. I started laughing when he came in with his innocent face, asking that if Ali was okay. I started laughing. That guy makes me laugh every time when
Yeah,
he comes out on TV, especially when he takes down his pants on the middle of the ring.
yeah.
He's crazy.
Yeah, he's very charismatic. Just and that is without, him being on the microphone every week or anything like that. He haven't had that chance, and he is charismatic. I'm telling you, this guy, they have to, get that
I
guy.
would,
Yeah, go ahead.
uh, sorry to interrupt. Um, I would love him to cut a promo inside the ring.
Yeah, and
I
see
would,
how. Yeah, and see how go over he can get.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's the only thing that we have to see. That's the only thing left.
yeah,
He's in Rick. He's in Rick promo skills,
yeah.
and I know that at least if GFW gives him the mix for 5 minutes, he's gonna be over with the fans.
He's working in Mexico as a heel. He have like a group,
Yeah.
the Rebellion,
Um,
and he's
if I'm
he's
not,
over.
if
Yeah,
I'm not, if I'm not mistaken, the stable is called La Rebelión.
yeah, yeah. He's over, and he's the
And,
the the leader.
and, and Rey Mysterio is in that stable, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So let's keep talking about the show. We could talk for hours about how Garza Jr. is talented, but now let's talk about somebody else who's quite talented. We got Laura Banes, Grado, and Joseph Park going through their checklist for their wedding. And Laura Banes was telling them that she wanted to invite her family from Victoria, Canada. So this was quite hilarious in multiple fashions because number one, hey, it is a new plot twist on this whole thing, doing that swerve on Grado because he thought she was American and, Auribanes is from Canada. And the second thing that I like is there have been people and people who I like. I am, let's not, lie about to ourselves. I am a fan of someone like Full Killer, huge fan. He was the trailblazer. He was the one who opened up that whole genre of talking about impact on YouTube. He started doing that almost 10 years ago. He had been doing that for 9 years ago, and he was complaining about Laura Banes being from Canada and the writers being sloppy. And now he jumped the gun. This writing thing is a little more sophisticated, pays a lot more attention to the details. So that is also something that make me laugh unironically with that. I think this is a new plot twist. Now let's see what is the next thing. I am not a big fan of that storyline because it is kind of limited how far can they go with this storyline because unless they are doing something like intergender, I don't see what could be the end goal. But let's keep watching. Let's not jump ahead. Let's have a little bit of patience and see where things are going. This is the only storyline so far in Impact that I am not a fan, at least for the time being due, because I don't see a end goal that I would love to see. Give us your thoughts on this whole in the segment and the storyline.
Well, like you said, this storyline is insanity. Um, I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's like you said. I don't know how far they're gonna keep on going with this angle between Laura Van Ness. Hey, I think we're gonna see the Hot Mess Express again. We're gonna see the drunk Laura Van Ness coming out the impact zone again with the white dress. So hey, I don't know. Maybe someone is screwing just. Maybe someone is screwing Grado. Maybe Joseph Park did that on purpose.
That could be a good plot twist.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, there's something tells me that Joseph Park has is is screwing Grado, and he wants him deported.
Okay, yeah, he's been the rat. That could be a good.
Yeah, he's being a big rat.
Yeah, that could be a cool twist. Next, we got from AAA, Pagano coming to Impact Wrestling next week. And also
Oh my
next
God,
week,
I'm excited about that one.
yeah. And also we have Taya Valkyrie making her debut next week. I am a fan of Pagano. I think, especially if they pair him up later down the line with the Monster Abyss, that could be a huge match. Pagano, and obviously with Crazy Steve, which that he's someone who I believe he might come home sooner rather than later because
I I wish.
yeah, I think he was promised on the other side, like milk and honey or something like that, and he decided, and he's not getting, like a good deal over there, and I won't be surprised if he's back. That could be a cool feud between uh Pagano and Crazy Steve, but let's not jump too much into fantasy booking. We're gonna we're enjoying the stuff that they're doing. We got Pagano coming on next week and Taya Valkyrie. What are your thoughts about these two big debuts for GFW Impact Wrestling?
Well, this week is gonna be huge. Um, we got the tag team X Division match. We have the Knockouts tag team match. We have the Impact Grand Title match, and now the debut of Pagano. Hey, I've been a huge fan of Pagano since Triple A. I've seen a lot of his matches. He's a hardcore type of guy, and like you said, hey, a matchup between Pagano and Abyss would be huge, and especially under Extreme Rule, under Monsters Ball. Pagano is talented. I've seen his feud versus El Mesias. I know
Yes.
you. I know you remember El Mesias.
Yeah, he's my
Like
favorite wrestler.
like if you see Pagano versus Abyss, you're gonna see a match like El Mesias versus Abyss.
Yeah,
Pagano is an extreme wrestler.
yeah,
He's pure hardcore.
yeah,
And
yeah, go ahead.
and the devil of Taya. Wow. Uh, I want to see where GFW goes with Taya. Man, Triple A missed the boat on her by stripping her out of the title and giving it to Sexy Star. She was a huge draw to Triple A. So I don't know what they were thinking, but I know that GFW is gonna let her show her true potential.
Yeah, from
And,
those
and,
who, yeah, go ahead.
and she's gold. And she's very talented, and I'm excited to see where in what direction GFW is going with her. Starting this Thursday night.
Yeah, for those that don't know, El Mesias, you might know him as Ricky Banderas on when he was wrestling on Wrestling Society X, or as Judas Mesias when he was wrestling on TNA, or you might know him as Mil Muertes now under a mask on Lucha Underground. He's my favorite wrestler from this my home country, and obviously he's also from my hometown Bayamon, and he's very talented. He is now becoming
Yeah,
older. He have been in the business 20 years, and they're doing a tribute show that I wish I could go. But we're talking about Pagano could pick up on this, and also with Taya Valkyrie, La Güera Loca. She's gonna get over big time on the Impact Zone. I'm telling you, she's heading straight to the top. Once she is seen by most of the people in the Impact Zone, she's probably gonna get over big time.
uh, in my opinion, I would love if GFW keep on finding knockouts like Taya. I would really love to GFW bring back the Chaos Tag titles.
Yes, that
It
that
would be that would be huge.
yeah,
I remember when GFW back the day was TNA, they had the Chaos title and the Knockouts tag titles. The Chaos division was fire, and they could do that again. And I really want in the near future GFW bringing those the Chaos division tag team titles back to the company. That would be huge.
yeah. I think that that stuff is in the cards. That I won't be surprised if that ends up happening. Sooner rather than later. So let's talk about the sit down
Can,
interview.
can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Would you love GFW create? All right, this is. I know this is not the topic that you're talking about right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
But since we're talking about tag team, would you like to see GFW make X Division tag team titles?
I think it will not be bad. However, I think a trios title could be better. I think they could get more mileage out of Australian tag team, a trios title rather than an X division, because there's a lot, there's a good pool of X division wrestler around. But WWE, they like to do their tournaments, and they like to sign everybody away from the indies, from GFW, from everybody. And
Yeah,
I think they could get that stuff, how can I put it, they could get their legs shop up if they decided to do a tag team X Division tournament, and you have the other day,
yeah.
WWE signing everybody away. I think a trios title could be, better. Go ahead.
That would be great, and I totally agree. That would be great, and I like that statement. You know, when Billy Corgan presented Team Explode, I thought that was the direction they were going. I thought they were gonna make an X Division trial set titles, but it never happened.
Yeah.
So we never know. Maybe in the future they make the huge announcement that they're gonna make a trial X Division tag titles. Hey, I'll be marking out
Yeah.
all night.
Yeah. That could be good, but I think they could get a little bit more mileage out of a trios title, due to having, let's say, someone like Marchy Rocket or KM, people, young guys, big guys, and they are, lost in the shuffle at the moment. There's nothing from them. You could put them on with someone else as the third guy. You could have a good like trio tag team, and there are, people missing, who don't have a feud, and you can have a feud and cover three people, have all those wrestlers, being together. And it's easier also for booking purposes, because you could find a spot for everybody, and find job for everybody in GFW, because I am a fan of Mashi Rocket, and there's nothing for him until November. So it is
Yeah,
sad. Yeah, it is sad not seeing him on TV. And I think something like a trio tag team, could fill that boy, and you could, put him with someone, let's say KM, and let's say who else? Shera. They could put those three guys versus, let's say, uh who could be the heels. I could think about this stuff later, but they could do that kind of stuff, and that's a good question. Next, let's not lose the plot, because I'm I'm getting kind of tired due to the lights and stuff. But that is part of the doing podcast and YouTube and all that good stuff. Next, we got a sit down interview with Lashley and American Top Team. Lashley wants to still be a professional wrestler and a mixed martial artist, and Lambert was trying to move him away from pro wrestling and make him solely a MMA wrestler. And Lashley kind of refused that and said that his final decision will be done when the time is right. I love this storyline because there are, you know, things actually behind the scenes. That is what happened with Lashley. Lashley is he's gonna get a Bellator title shot probably on December, and American Top Team in real life want him to move away from GFW and be only an MMA guy because they want to maximize his chances of him becoming the champion. So I love that kind of stuff of a storyline that it is seen on pro wrestling that also it is truth. It is something that is happening backstage in the real life. That this is a good little storyline because obviously it's gonna be feel real to everybody involved. What are your thoughts about this?
Yes, you mentioned a good point right there, and that's the exciting part of the storyline. That it's something that is happening to Bobby Lashley in his personal life. He has to decide whether he wants to be, you know, in professional wrestling or in MMA. So he's under that pressure. I really want to see a Team GFW versus Team MMA at Bound for Glory.
Yeah, that could be
I
a
would I,
yeah.
would- I would love to see that match inside a six-sided steel, six sides of steel.
Yeah, something like that. That's good.
That would be awesome. Remember, MMA stars fight inside a cage,
Yeah,
so that would be huge. That would be huge.
yeah, that could be huge. Next, let's talk about the main event and the closing stuff. We got the main event, which it was GFW Global Champion Eli Drake and Chris Adonis versus Eddie Edwards and Johnny Impact. Excellent match. There was a lot of move. We saw the blue thunder bolt. We got a corkscrew to the outside done by Johnny Impact. We got a little bit of the referee being distracted. Then we saw Eli Drake hitting with the Skylord slam and Johnny Impact hitting a double net breaker on Adonis and Eli Drake. Then Eddie Edwards saving Impact Johnny Impact from a double suplex. And then at the end we saw Eddie Edwards hitting a low blow on Eddie Edwards, and then he followed that with a white noise to win. So neither Eddie Edwards or Johnny Impact will be getting a title shot next week. And after the match, Lashley was confronted by American Top Team to come to the outside. Jim Cornette warned and he was pissed off about American Top Team getting out of control and said that he will suspend uh, Lashley and he's gonna miss the Triple Mania. Also, Cornette ended up announcing a huge match for next week, which is gonna be Eli Drake defending his GFW Global Championship title versus Matt Sydal. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, to begin with, that tag team match was perfect from start to finish. That match was awesome. I enjoyed everything about it. Those tag teams had great chemistry inside the six-sided ring, and they had a lot of crazy spots. The one that I loved a lot, was when John Morrison got on top of the rope and Eddie Edwards made a suicide dive. That was crazy. I loved it, and I think if you see where GFW is going with Eli Drake and American Top Team storyline, hey, remember everything happened with Matt Sydal beat Bobby Lashley at Destination X. So maybe next week, I don't know because I really don't read spoilers. I don't like them. But the way I see it, the American top team are going to interfere in that match.
Yeah, I think this was a good tag team match. A lot of talented people. Eli Drake getting obviously the win because he's a champion. That's good. What I think I didn't kind of like and was that Jim Cornette, oh, excuse me, kind of Jim Cornette kind of let's say screwing him like by putting every single week a new challenge to Eli Drake, and that inadvertently is making Eli Drake more of a little of a baby face. I think it could be uh something that could be the platform to launch Eli Drake as a babyface. And probably I don't know what are the thoughts behind it. I'm not fan of what they did at that moment, but I think they might be even tasting the water with Eli Drake as a babyface by having Jim Cornette saying that decision. So when they say that decision, they are hearing the crowd. Did the crowd boo or did the crowd cheer? Or it was 50-50. So that's a good point. The end of the show being American Top Team, I don't have a problem with that. I think it should have been you know the other way around, being the American Top Team angle being done before the match even started.
Yeah,
I think, yeah, go ahead.
sorry that you're talking. I totally agree because in one way it takes out the spotlight out of Eli Drake.
Yeah,
You know what I mean, right?
yeah,
He wins the match, but the American top team comes out.
yeah,
He just won the match, so he should celebrate the victory. So by having American top team interfering in that segment, they took a little bit of the spotlight out of Eli Drake, and and he sees the world champion. He deserves the spotlight.
yeah,
He
yeah,
deserves it.
yeah. I
So
agree. Yeah,
I'm really excited about the Matt Sydal and Eli Drake match next week. I mean, Matt Sydal proved that he could go with anyone inside the ring by beating Bobby Lashley. And hey, who never knows? Maybe he wins next Thursday. Maybe he won't. Maybe American Top Team interferes and make Eli Drake win. And maybe, and hey, maybe we'll see American Top.
I hope everybody. Yeah, sorry for about that. My software went a little bit down, but hopefully this is not seen by the live stream. Sorry, this is not that powerful of a computer. I'm doing the best that I can. I fully agree with you, Eli. I think it is not that smart to take that spotlight away from Eli Drake. What I wanna see next is Eli Drake back with the whole dummy thing and persona become a little bit more over the top, like he was when he was massively over. I think he's good, and I am proud to have him as the GFW champion. But the fact of life, I think we're due into seeing that, and that could be cool, especially by having him having the title. But that could happen, the week after that, after he beats hopefully Matt Sydal, because I want Eli Drake to be champ for a long ass time. This is it for me. Thanks everybody for listening all the way through. This has been the review of GFW Impact Wrestling from August 31st, 2017. If you want to follow Eli, the links are in the description below, and obviously next to his picture. Any closing statement that you have before we go off the air?
I just want to say thank you, Rob, for having me here on this podcast. Hey, keep up the great work, man. You have a great future, and keep it going, man. I want to say thank you, and I want to thank once again everybody for the support they have given me since I said that I have skin cancer. I wanna I wanna say a big thank you to everyone. Thank you for the love. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for the support. And hey, I'm, I'm gonna keep on fighting, and let's keep on supporting GFW. Let's make it the number one company in the United States and globally. So thank you, Rob. I enjoyed it. It was awesome to be here. Hey, maybe we could do it again one more time. You never know.
Yeah. That's up the car. Hopefully, we will have you one day in the Hillcast and do a show with us over there. Thank you. You have been a great host this evening. And GFW and their fans, we are a huge family. We support each other, and we will fully support you, and we are pulling for you big time, man. This is it for me. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure that you're subscribed if you happen to be new here, and I will see you next time. Goodbye, and thanks for listening.